Dearest viewer, welcome to the Chronicles. If you're new here, I'm Mickie, the main character. 18 months ago, I set out on a call to adventure to leave my hometown in New Jersey and venture out to the mysterious city of Los Angeles seeking my hidden treasure. That was an Alchemist reference for anyone who's read that book. If there's anyone who can tell you the truth about what it's like to move away from home, practically starting from nothing in a new place and somehow creating a new life there, it's me. Because I did it, and I'm in the thick of it right now. Before I dive into my story, I want to share two things. First, I'm so happy with my decision to move out to Los Angeles, even though I have a beautiful life in New Jersey that I miss dearly all the time. Second, wherever you go, there you are. I'll explain this later. Like, something that I heard was self-initiated change is really scary, which is so true. Like, it takes a huge level of trust in myself and in the universe to drop everything that I know in my life to move across the country and kind of start fresh. But I'm very optimistic about it, and I think it's going to be great. So, you're in your 20s, maybe your early 30s. Life has not lived up to your expectations. So you have this inner fire in you that says, there must be more. You start doing research about how to get a work visa in another country, or you check if the company you work for has job openings in another state. Or you want to move away for school just for the experience. Maybe you live in a cold environment and you're tired of suffering through the winter. The climate was a big part of why I wanted to leave New Jersey. I remember one year it took my siblings and I 4 hours to shovel our cars out of the snow, and I remember thinking to myself that day, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I don't know why every home in places where it snows doesn't come with a garage, but that's a different rant. But anyway, the real reason that I moved to LA was purely adventurous. I didn't dorm in college. I did a single semester abroad, which is cool. Those 4 months in England were the only taste I ever had of living somewhere other than New Jersey. So at 28 years old, 5 years after finishing film school, I had recently quit my day job and I had no commitments. So I just finished my last day of work and I'm sitting here on the Hudson River, all dramatic and shit. And I have no idea what's next in life, and I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy the freedom of not having any obligations, not being tied down to anything right now. I'm just like completely free. I'm 28 years old and I am just like free. I don't have kids. I don't have a job. I'm free. I don't know what's next. Guys, obviously I was going through some free-spirited shit because a month after that I was in California for a film fellowship. And I was like, you know what? I can move here. So I started applying for jobs in LA. I was just dying to experience something new, and it felt like the best time in my life to do it. So I celebrated my 29th birthday, and immediately after, I set sail for Los Angeles. Saying goodbye is not as hard as you think it is because you're in a state of denial. Nothing feels real, probably not until you get to the airport or land in the new place. It might not even hit you until months after you move. I had a going away party, and I remember thinking it was going to be an emotional, sentimental night. Instead, I feel like my brain chemistry altered to protect me from the truth. I had like 2 or 3 emotional conversations that night, but still, it didn't feel like this huge thing was happening. I was in denial. I tell myself, Michelle, life might never be the same. Even if you move back in a year, this might be the end of an era. But still, I just couldn't process that for nothing. And I really think it was my brain protecting me because I'd be full of anxiety if I felt the weight of what I was doing. Honestly, moving is not something you process all at once. It will hit you different times in different ways. I'm 18 months in and I still have new realizations and new emotions about it. Milestones and chapter markers happen all the time. The first time you visit home, the first time someone from home visits you, your first dinner by yourself in your new place, the first time you go out with new friends. It's truly something you can't prepare for. You find out by living it. I just got home from New Jersey. I literally just got to my apartment. Here's the update. I feel like I'm in a very beautiful prison. No, I was kidding. But coming back feels sad. Being back feels sad. Not like tragedy sadness, but just like a little sinking, like, you know, like, you should come home and feel like, home. But I feel like I just came from home. I feel like No hay nada aquí. Like, there's nothing. I don't know. It's just like stuff that I bought, but there's no feeling, no sentiments attached to anything, no memories. The only memories I have are me being lonely here. But it's okay because it's still the beginning of this adventure, and it's my job to expand here and create my life here. It just feels like a blank canvas, and it's just hard to come from being surrounded by love and unconditional love and family and good food and all that, to come here and it's that buzzing sound that never stops, and my quiet apartment that has not much here except for like a bed and a desk, and there's not enough love in here yet. You wake up thinking you're in your old home, but then as you come into consciousness, you remember where you are. You feel sad. You feel homesick. You miss the people that used to surround you. You hold on to the memory of how it felt to be in your last home. You call your family, maybe your mom or your sister, and it tugs at your heartstrings because you wish you could be in the room with them, but it's 2,000 miles away. Life is bittersweet. My first month in LA, I had trouble sleeping. It took my body longer than my mind to adapt to being here. I felt my body's confusion. I think I couldn't sleep through the night because I was in a foreign place and my body didn't recognize it as a safe place, even though on a conscious level I did feel safe. I had violent nightmares for a while, even though I felt fine in my waking life. I recognized that it was grief. Even if I felt completely fine during the day, a part of me was still grieving, and it happened in cycles. I cried a little bit when I was being dropped off at the airport, but there was never these gut-wrenching emotions. My first few months in LA, I was so busy getting settled and figuring out my life that there wasn't a lot of room for sadness. Even if I felt homesick, I was still excited to be at the start of a new chapter. What I did feel a lot of was guilt. I felt guilty for leaving people behind, guilty for being the first one of my siblings to move out, and guilty for living in such a beautiful place. Like, what even? As time went on, I missed my family so much, and I didn't have a lot of friends in LA, so I was lonely. You live alone. Sometimes you can go days without interacting with another human being in real life. FaceTime calls are great, but they're not the same as being in the physical presence of a loved one. When you're busy, you forget you're alone. But sometimes you're not in the mood to do anything. Not TV, not TikTok, not a hobby, not productivity. The only thing you need is a companion, but there's no one available. It's just you and God in this room. I have experienced the most profound loneliness of my life being here. And to my loved ones who may be watching, I'm not saying this to make anyone feel sad or feel sorry for me. Please don't. I'm thriving. I met a woman who once said, "When you live a life of travel, loneliness is your companion." I thought that was really deep. Whenever I feel lonely in LA, I remind myself that I was lonely in New Jersey too. A lot of people in this world are lonely, even if you live with people. I have always been a really independent person who spends time alone, and I can enjoy it. I think being alone is a necessary part of life. It's spiritual and beautiful, and to some it's a luxury. It's when it doesn't feel like a choice that it becomes hard to enjoy. I've had days where I wake up energized and happy. I literally wake up like, "Good morning, world." And then the polar opposite. I have days when I wake up and I feel the silence and I'm immediately sad. Life is meant to be shared. I have a beautiful home and I love visitors. People are what makes a home, not nice decor. Human beings are social creatures. We thrive in communities. That said, loneliness will always come and go, but there are ways to make friends. Here are some things I've done to create community for myself in LA. One of the first things I tried was Bumble BFF, but it's just like the dating app experience. It's not my preferred way of meeting people. I did have a nice friendship date though. About 7 months into my move, I finally joined an acting class, and having it as my third space made a big difference. I now had a place that I showed up to every week, I saw the same people, and by the end of the month, I felt like I had community. I also had scene partners that I had rehearsed with during the week, so it gave me a reason to meet up with people in different parts of the city and see more of LA. I've also joined organizations that are exclusive to women in the film industry, and those events help me meet more people who share my passions. Also, I learned to show up to community events by myself, which is something I never used to do. I never used to show up to parties by myself, but I learned how to do it and not feel super awkward. So I follow organizations on social media, and when they post about events, I save it to my calendar. And when I go to these events, sometimes I meet people on the line to get in and connect with them, or I'll talk to a stranger who's also there alone. A younger version of me would have been too scared to show up to things alone, but the reality is everybody's there for the same reason, to connect with people. So just do it. Some friendships happen over time, and some connections are instant. In 1 year, I've met people in LA who feel like my soulmates. To me, a soulmate means you have a powerful impact on each other's lives, whether it's a lifelong friendship or it's just for a chapter. My advice to anyone living in a new place and dealing with loneliness is that as long as you put yourself out there, the connections will come. Have faith. When you find yourself established in your new home, there's a cocktail of positive emotions you experience from time to time. Gratitude that it all worked out, pride because you did that, joy from experiencing new love, excitement for every time you discover a new part of the city, make a new connection, or try something new. Also, I'm so proud of the home I've built, brick by brick. I mean, all the furniture in my house I assembled myself, or I thrifted. When you put that much work into your home, you develop an attachment to your space and a deep appreciation for it. I'm also so proud of the jobs I'm able to secure, considering I moved out here with very little connections. Every time I'm on a new gig, I feel proud of myself. I get to look at my life and know that it was my design, that what I have is a result of my courage, my effort, and the help I had along the way. That's such a beautiful feeling. The funny thing about moving is that yes, it changed my life, but not in the way that I expected it to. The biggest difference is that I'm far from my family and in a landscape that's different from home. But for the most part, I'm still the same person, and I have the same problems I had before I moved. And that's what I meant by wherever you go, there you are. I didn't expect my life to be perfect after moving, but I did expect more of an energy shift. I thought I would attract bigger opportunities because of the energy I was putting out into the universe. Moving was my way of saying, God, I'm open. Yet, the core issues I was dealing with, like my career trajectory, remain the same. I still have commitment issues. I'm still an overthinker and a perfectionist. It took me a year to decorate my apartment because of that. So whatever your core issues are in your life before you move, just know that it's gonna follow you. You can't run away from the major themes of your life. But it's nice to not have to shovel the snow or defrost my car in the morning. So there's that.
Cool.